What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. This is X-plore Costa Rica. Today, we're going to learn traveling cheap in Costa Rica 2023. What's up, guys? My name's Jeff. This is my beautiful co-host and fiance, Liliana.
If you're new to our channel, please like or subscribe. We drop a video every Tuesday and Thursday with everything you need to know about visiting or living in Costa Rica.
We also host a portfolio of some beautiful vacation properties in and around the country. If you're thinking about traveling or visiting Costa Rica, that website popping up on bottom, explorevita.com. Get in. Check us out, book your next vacation rental. We'd love to see you in Costa Rica. We'd love to accommodate your stay. And with that, it's time to jump right in and learn Costa Rica Cheap Travel 2023. So what's up, guys? Let's dive right into keeping it cheap in Costa Rica. We got a really great show about what you can expect in prices and thus how we can save some money and travel on a budget. We call it balling on a budget or traveling cheap. So let's jump right into it. Obviously, got three places you can stay: hotels, vacation rentals, or hostels in and around Costa Rica. So on average, most hotels are gonna start off on that $75 mark, go all the way up from there. What I've seen around Costa Rica is you're typically $200 to $300 a night for a a decent place to stay.
As far as our experience, the places where we stay that they're under our standards, we want to feel comfortable. Even though we want to cut our expenses and trying to be on a budget sometimes, we prefer hotels that are not under the $100. If they're under this price, then you can have to lower your expectations.
A little bit.
Really, you cannot ask for more. Yeah.
Very true. Most vacation rentals are going to start off on that $50 a night. Mm-hmm. We have stayed at some really decent places for $50 a night. Believe it or not, they're out there. That's really going to depend more on geographical location, where you're at around the country. What do you got?
Well, when it comes for Airbnbs, for instance, we've chosen places under the $100, like the $50 one. I think between 50 to 60, 75 on an Airbnb for a couple. It's been really, really nice for us. Very comfortable, clean. Yeah, there are very good options out there for Airbnbs. Between $50 to $75, I would say.
And that's keeping it real cheap. You're not going to have a lot of amenities. So we're talking a studio apartment. We'll do that if we're just going to be in town filming for like 24 hours. Yeah, we're going to cheap out. But there's a time and a place. We got, many different vacation rentals in our portfolio. Some are studio apartments. Others are really gigantic homes that have a lot to them, a lot of recreational activities. Moving on to the third would be a hostel. My mother-in-law owns a hostel in San Jose. Her rates are about, $20 to $25 US a night. It's very clean. You cannot beat those pricing. What you're gonna give up to staying in a hostel is privacy. You're gonna share the kitchen. In her hostel, there's 4 or 5 bathrooms. So there's a lot of different bathrooms. Some rooms have private bathrooms, hence they cost a little bit more money. But on average, you can stay in a hostel for $25, $30, $35 US a night. What do you got?
My mother's, she offers this room for single people, so you can expect some rules, right, and share it with other people. Of course, you're cheaping on the costs, but it's a really good way if you want to make a stop in San Jose, maybe stay for a couple of nights, or just have a place where you can have your belongings and start traveling around the country and eventually come back to San Jose and spend some time there.
And just to clear something up, hostels aren't inclusive to San Jose. Hostels are located all over the country. So regardless where you're going to be, if you you really want to ball on a budget, BB is what we call it, a hostels is probably the way you need to go. You can find them in every single place that you're going to be traveling to. And there's a few things to remember when we're deciding vacation rental versus hotels. So one big thing in Costa Rica to keep in mind is food. Food is very, very, very expensive in Costa Rica. So if you have a larger group and you guys want to save some money, typically what we do, my friends and family, what we do when we're on vacation rentals, we'll try to cook breakfast ourselves, and we're definitely going to eat lunch at our place. This is one way you will save a tremendous amount of money. If you can get 1 or 2 dinners at home as well, you are going to save a fortune in Costa Rica. Really, where they get you in Costa Rica is on the food. Food is very, very expensive. If it's just me, if we're traveling together, we'll a lot of times we'll stay in a hotel. I think it might actually be the same price, maybe a little bit cheaper, especially if you're gonna get a free breakfast. I mean, if you get a free meal, there's 2 of you guys, you like the service, you really cannot beat that in Costa Rica. So 2 very important points to remember if you and your group are wondering, hey, is it gonna be cheaper vacation rental versus hotel? Typically, the size of the group will dictate. I think that's kind of common sense. But the big thing is if you guys are willing to cook just a few meals, typically what we do is we go to the grocery store, which, before I started speaking Spanish and learning where everything was at the grocery store, we call supers in Costa Rica. What an adventure. You're walking through the store, you're trying to find mayonnaise and mustard, you don't know how to say anything, and it really did add a sense of adventure onto my vacation days many years ago, before I was, pretty fluent in Spanish and whatnot. So, that's something to remember as well. But back to the budget, if you can cook just a few meals at your vacation rental, you will save a fortune in Costa Rica. Another cool thing I know in our vacation rentals, some of our higher end properties, we also offer private chefs. Of course, there are additional charges, but if we're looking to have a special night with you and the boys, or you and your wife, or something like that, a lot of vacation properties, vacation homes in Costa Rica have contacts to private chefs. So don't let that set you back as well. And you can always still go out for dinner, breakfast, and lunch, and everything in between.
One thing about cooking for yourself, if you're renting a place, you're with a big group, you're with your family, your friends, you have to take into consideration, we as a ticos, I am Costa Rican, we know how to cheap, and we know what to buy in order to cut these expenses and not making this dinner so expensive. But when it comes for tourists, that they have other tastes, they are more used to other things that we import in our country. You might think, might be saving some money, but especially you, that you like certain type of cheese,
True.
certain type of sausage, you will find these ingredients very expensive in Costa Rica.
This is true. The string cheese is where you're going with that. I love string cheese. It costs an arm and a leg in Costa Rica. The lunch meats I like are going to cost a lot more money in Costa Rica. So yes, if you can adapt with the culture, you're going to save a fortune on groceries in Costa Rica. That's a very good point. Getting back to where we were, the very last thing to remember would be is the staff and the service. So we have some amazing properties. We've stayed at some amazing properties. It all around was a first-class experience. If you're looking for somebody to carry your bags to your room, obviously a vacation rental, you're not going to find that. If you're looking for an on-site bar, probably not going to find that in a vacation rental with a bartender working, and those sorts of things. So, if you're somebody, you like the service, you like the all-inclusive, hey, there's nothing wrong with staying at hotels. The tips I'd be looking for is breakfast included. You're going to save $15 every morning just off of that. 10 days, you're up $150. So.
Well, also for the hotels, and we experience, we love having some cocktails outside of a hotel, trying to go to different spots, maybe new restaurants in the town. But you have to take into consideration that the cocktails in Costa Rica, they can be expensive.
Very, very good point. How can we save some money? Some tips and tricks to saving money in Costa Rica. Okay, so number one on our list, which we already hit, would be the size of the group versus hotel or vacation rental. Typically, when it's a smaller group, I'm thinking hotel. When it's a larger group, I am thinking a vacation rental. We already kind of covered that, so let's keep it going a little bit. In Costa Rica, we have two different types of establishments. We have restaurants, and you're gonna see signs that say sodas, and for so many years, until we got together, I really don't want to look like a blonde gringo right now, but I really thought you guys were making soda, like soda pop in the sodas. No, it's not a Pepsi factory. No, they're not making Sprite. Soda is a traditional Costa Rican restaurant. Do you want to explain what sodas are, please?
Yes, and they're around the country, everywhere you're gonna see a lot of signs. And these are places where you can find very affordable meal, Costa Rican meal. That is mostly what we like to eat on a daily basis at a super cheap prices.
True there, and I've been to a handful of sodas with you. Sodas are clean. I don't want anybody to get the misperception that there's a cleanliness issue. There's not. What this is, kind of like a buffet. So you're gonna have rice, you're gonna have beans, you're gonna have your choice of poultry. So chicken is normally what I go with. Plantain, we love plantain in Costa Rica. If you haven't eaten plantain and you've been coming to Costa Rica, shame on you. You need to try some plantain. It's delicious. But sodas are a traditional restaurant where locals go to eat on a budget. And they're very good food. My favorite meal out of soda would actually be breakfast. It's really hard, regardless where you're at, to get eggs wrong and toast. But you get a lot of food for a very cheap price. If you're open to it, you will save a fortune if you eat a couple sodas on your vacation. What do you got?
That's right. And one tip for you, in order to get the best out of the sodas, some of these sodas, they serve like catering service, like buffet, and some other is on a menu. But try to be on their schedule for breakfast, like first thing in the morning or first thing when they're cooking, or when it's lunchtime, like exactly the time, so you can get the best out of the sodas because they're cooking at that time. If you wait a little later, let's say come eat at 3, then you can expect, it's been maybe for a longer time, the food's sitting in there. Yeah.
Good point. So another big way that we could save some money in Costa Rica is when you get off of your flight and you are in the airport, doesn't matter if you're in Liberia or San Jose, I promise you they will have a duty-free store. This means a tax-free store. It's right there. They force you to walk through it. Guys, in Costa Rica, it is 100% acceptable for you to bring your own cocktails out to the beach, the park, the beach, the ocean. For instance, in a lot of other countries, and let's just take America for example, if a hotel has a bar, there's no way they're going to allow you to bring a cocktail from your room out to the pool. This is not the case in Costa Rica. It's pura vida. Everything's very chill. I promise you, you will have no problems engaging in this sort of trend. So what we always do is stop, get your favorite adult beverage, a bottle, however you want to do it. You're on vacation. Have fun. You can mix your own cocktails in the room, take them down by the pool, take them out to the beach. This right here will save. If you like to engage in some adult beverages, you're gonna save a fortune off this tip, I promise you.
Actually, for the ticos, we love our holidays, getaways with the family or friends where we can bring the cooler pretty much everywhere. We go in the country, to the beach, to the mountain, and fill it with all of the drinks that you want. And it can be, at the end of the day, like a very nice trip.
Good point. We do that a lot when we're going to the beach with our family and friends. We will stuff a cooler, we'll drag it with us when we go to the waterfalls, anywhere where we're going to be hanging out rather than, buying stuff and paying a premium. We'll go right to the super, we stock up on everything that we want to have for the day, and honestly, we're saving a fortune doing it. It's a very good tip.
Yes, and one more tip. Since you have this opportunity to bring your cooler and all of these drinks that you want to spend with your family and friends a very good time, also please bring a bag of garbage where you can get all of your garbage together, and don't leave it at the beach. because we always try to maintain our beaches and all of our spaces very clean.
Very good tip. And I want to hit the cooler because we live here. So we have a cooler. We started doing this a few years ago before I lived here, and I did the math. A cooler's like $20, and they have styrofoam coolers. Some of these restaurants, and I kid you not, I don't want to scare you from coming to Costa Rica, but you get to the wrong. We were in Montezuma. We had an appetizer and 2 cocktails, and the bill was $97 on the beach. Had we had brought a cooler with us that day, even if we paid $20 for it, we had got some of our favorite drinks and a little thing to snack on the beach, we would have saved $50. I mean, do that 10 times in 1 week. I mean, you're winning all the way around. I mean, that's a huge win. So, something to think about. Another really big common mistake I see people, we had 2 of my friends, my buddy came down, he brought his girlfriend. They were calling me 2 months before trying to book all their excursions. They're telling me like a horse ride online was almost $110 a person. I'm like, no, it's not. I mean, it's like $30 US where we live. Same tour, just we handle it a different way. So what I always tell people is, I know you're itching to come to Costa Rica. I hope you're binge watching our channel. You're putting all this together. You can't wait to experience the Pura Vida vibe. Please wait to make your reservations until you get to Costa Rica. I'm not talking about doing it the day of, but if you're gonna be here a week, when you get to town, you'll figure it out. I mean, there's places everywhere. If you're staying at a hotel, talk to the front desk. If you're staying at a vacation rental, I mean, our guests all the time, drop us a line. Hey, what do you guys recommend doing? Who do I need to talk to? We have a virtual concierge. We got you. So wait to make your excursions until you get to Costa Rica. I promise you, there's plenty of room. There's plenty of room for you guys. You'll get to do your excursion, and you're gonna save a lot of money doing it. I think we hit it a little bit before or in another video. The other big expense in Costa Rica is going to be gas. And I meet so many people in Costa Rica that they're there for 2 weeks. I've done this before. I had a great time. It was an adventure. I kind of felt like I cheated myself a little bit out of the vacation because I spent every single day in a car driving around Costa Rica. I mean, it's cool, but you really don't leave yourself too much time to enjoy Costa Rica. So I always tell people, breathe. I know you're trying to see the whole country. You can always come back. I mean, hopefully we have a fan for life, Pura Vida. We'll see you again. But gas is very expensive in Costa Rica. I would caution anybody about trying to spend 2 weeks in a car zigzagging all over Costa Rica. The big feedback I get, A, you spend a whole bunch of money on gas, and B, it kind of ruined the trip a little bit because you spent the whole vacation inside the car. One big piece of advice is scale back the driving a little bit. You'll save a fortune in Costa Rica. And then the last thing, and I think this is common sense, I guess I never put 2 and 2 together, is for all the adults watching the channel that like to enjoy adult beverages, yes, we do have happy hour in Costa Rica. You will save a fortune in Costa Rica. We just were talking about Montezuma, same cocktails. This mojito was something, the hands down the best drink I've ever seen in my life. The presentation was phenomenal. I mean, this guy deserves the best employee bartender award in the world. The guy was amazing. I mean, great service. The drinks were a work of art. I mean, would you agree? That man was not mixing cocktails. He was making art that day. It just so happened the art made you feel good and tasted kind of good. So it was a win all the way around for everybody. The same drink during happy hour was like half the price. I mean, half the price. So, you know, if you could just figure out where the happy hours are and make sure to play that game, you're going to save a lot of money in Costa Rica.
And one piece of advice that is going to save you a lot during your trip is like, if you bring in your car, just make sure you get all of your belongings in the hotel. Don't get your car full of stuff because that can attract people that might want to steal it from
Very
you.
true.
Yeah.
More of a safety tip, but that's very good. Anything bad we've ever heard happen, that's exactly how it happens. You get to town, you're a little too excited, you go right to the beach for a 5-minute walk. Costa Rica is very, very safe. It's like anywhere in the world. Play stupid games, you're gonna win stupid prizes. Take the minute, be smart, put your stuff up, and then let's go have some fun. So last on our list is the most expensive places in Costa Rica, and thus the cheapest or most affordable places in Costa Rica. I'm gonna have to go with Flamingo, Tamarindo, the Guanacaste, North Guanacaste, Cocoa Beach. Exactly, extremely expensive. This is like the new style Costa Rica. I know the Marriott has an all-inclusive in Tamarindo. It's like $7,500 for the week. It's outrageous. It is all-inclusive. It's a 5-star hotel. If you're into that, hey, I support you. Maybe I'll see you there one day. I like old school Costa Rica where we kind of get away from all the all-inclusive stuff. That's just me. But Santa Teresa, pretty expensive. Montezuma, the hotel wasn't bad. The food was pretty expensive. The cocktails were pretty expensive. That was at our hotel. The town itself, extremely expensive. Again, we got an appetizer and 2 cocktails. It's $97. I almost spit the juice out of my mouth when I saw the bill.
Read the menu.
Yeah. I mean, it was one of those ones you get the bill and you finish your drink. Like, how do you sleep at night? I mean, it's pretty bad. Jaco's pretty expensive. Manuel Antonio, Capos, anywhere on the Pacific side, on the Pacific Ocean. It's a special piece of Costa Rica. It's valuable land, thus. I mean, it's very popular with tourists. I mean, it's why people are coming to Costa Rica is to see that region. Expect to pay a little bit more.
And don't get us wrong. I mean, the prices, they can be expensive, but I mean, they do a really good job providing with good meals and good drinks and very good snacks. So yeah, regardless, we had to pay maybe some expensive meal because we wanted to be in front of the beach and everything. We enjoyed pretty much the snacks and
we did, and I don't mean to take anything away from that experience. You get what you pay for in life, but this whole thing is trying to ball on a budget and save some money. So you need to be prepared anywhere on the Pacific side. At least from Dominical all the way up to Nicaragua, things are going to be a little bit more expensive. Thus, you get into the middle part of Costa Rica, talking Monteverde now, La Fortuna, and the San Jose Valley prices are a lot more reasonable. I'd say almost half. I mean, do you agree with that?
Definitely.
So like a meal in Guanacaste or Jaco, that'll cost $200. And now this is more of an upscale meal, but it'll cost $200. We're going out for steak, cocktails, it's date night. In La Fortuna, it's going to be $80. So you're definitely going to save some money getting away from the ocean and being in the Central Valley. Let's get to Limon. Gotta love Limon Province. What's up, PV? Puerto Viejo. It's gonna be a little bit more than La Fortuna, but Puerto Viejo to me, you're gonna have like La Fortunas down here. You're gonna have the Pacific price up here, and I think the Caribbean price is somewhere in between, don't you? It's not quite the Pacific, like, the meal was good, but you feel like somebody slapped the food out of your mouth when you got the bill. Great. I mean, it was a beautiful night, but, it was a little expensive. Versus, hey, we're balling on a budget. We're in La Fortuna. I just can't believe we paid $65 for everything we just got. Puerto Viejo is going to be in the middle price.
Also, a very good thing and another tip for you to save money is that there are restaurants with very amazing local food, especially in Limon.
True.
The Caribbean food there is so tasty, it's really good, and it's pretty decent prices.
Yeah, it is. In fact, in Puerto Viejo, we got to go back to our tips. They sell that Caribbean jerk on sticks all throughout Puerto Viejo. I know when me and you were there, we did more of the date night. We went to restaurants. When I was in PV a few years ago with some of my boys, we ate lunch and dinner at those little snack huts where they're cooking the jerk on the side of the street. It's like $2 a stick. You get a stick like that, it has a bunch of Caribbean jerk. It's like $6 a meal. We smashed every single meal with that. We truly saved a lot of money. So look around, and there's no shame in walking in, asking to see a menu and looking at the prices before you sit down, okay? I know me and you've walked in, looked at the prices and said, not tonight. right? We're gonna go next door. So that's all we got for today. Make sure you like and subscribe, guys. We drop a new video every Tuesday and Thursday with everything you need to know about visiting or living in Costa Rica. That website popping up on bottom, explorebeta.com. Get in, check us out, book your next vacation. We'd love to see you in Costa Rica. We'd love to accommodate your stay. Until next time, pura vida.
Pura vida.
Bye-bye.